Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we are here for episode number 58 of our TEW series. And this is another one where I'm having to do the audio after recording the episode because your boy did not check to see if his microphone was connected. So this is probably going to be slightly shorter than the original recording just because, you know, I'm going through this stuff again. I probably chat shit a lot during this episode, but hey ho, it's going to be kind of the same, you know. So you can see here, we're just going to jump straight into it. It's the final shows before our pay-per-view event, which also didn't have any audio, so I'll be doing that one. But I'll be, I'll be making an effort with that one. Well, more of an effort than I am with this one. But yeah, nothing too crazy happening in this one. We've got the mixed tag match in the main event of Dynamite, and we've also got some big tag team action in the main event for Collision. Keith Lee has been given a collision pass for the day, and it'll be the Lucha Brothers taking on Keith Lee and Darby Allin in the main event. That's over on Collision, obviously. Dynamite, though, is where we are now, and we are in the pre-show, so let's just jump straight into it. You can see we've got Paige Van Zandt taking on Mercedes Martinez, and in a pre-show bout that didn't have much heat and terrible wrestling, Paige Van Zandt gets the win, and she also gets a bruised eye socket. Ouch. Also, Paige Van Zandt and Mercedes Martinez don't get on, which doesn't matter too much because Mercedes Martinez is pissing off in like 4 days, 5 days, 6 days. Whenever Monday, week 1 April is, I'm not doing the counting, she'll be gone. Same as Tony Schiavone, he's gone on that day as well. Good old Tony. And Nyla Rose is close to retiring too. So yeah, I'll be looking to bring someone up from Ring of Honor or just sign someone new to fill the Mercedes Martinez hole. Obviously, it's not going to be like a world beater or anything because she's kind of a jobber anyway, but it's good to just balance out the rosters. But yeah, not a very good match. To be fair, Paige Van Zandt puts in better numbers normally, but of course, you know, the lack of chemistry and the injury mid-match doesn't help. Was there any... sorry, I'm just having to pan across in this one just to see if Mercedes got any heat for the injury. I don't think she did. Let's just hold on. I'm just watching it live. BJ Whitmer, yes, Mercedes Martinez did get some heat. I'll make sure I include that in the video. But following that, we've got another pre-show match. It is AR Fox taking on El Generico, and yeah, just another random match that we've thrown into the pre-show. El Generico gets the win, of course he does, with a brain buster, and again, they don't seem to click at all. So I'm really good at making these pre-show matches. Yeah, not much to say about this. Let's just head straight into the main show where we kick off with some tag team action, and it is FTR and Miro and Coughlin. FTR taking on Miro and Coughlin, and in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, FTR get the win. You know, using that tag team specialist bonus that they have. 81 rated match, which is pretty good to be fair. Coughlin is slowly getting better. Miro has just become a machine. And yeah, Dax and Cash are just Dax and Cash. I mean, they're kind of bang average. I thought they'd have better performances than this. I remember in WWE TEW 2016, I did a really long-term WWE save, just like for fun. And my tag division got so good that they were all just my main eventers. So FTR were like 86 pop each. They were getting like 90 plus rated matches. I put Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman together. They were getting like 90 plus ratings all the time. Yeah, it was insane. So I know that they've got the potential. Obviously, I know every mod is different. I'm using a different mod right now. But, you know, we know in real life FTR are great. And these numbers just aren't cutting it, Chief. So maybe we just need to put them in more matches and more wins. Yeah, maybe. Following this, though, we have got a promo from Drew Galloway. And it's, I wouldn't say it's a heelish promo. It's more of like a complaining promo. Just talking about how unfairly he's been treated. Saying that he was suspended for something that he didn't even do. He lost his title opportunity, you know, at the time. He did obviously get the chance to face Keith Lee, but he said everything that transpired before that threw me off my game. It wasn't fair to just throw me straight into a title match after giving me a suspension. I was ready for that title match and it was robbed from me. And he's just like, I just want, like, I'm not happy. I need to be treated better because I deserve better. And Jake Roberts just kind of appears in camera, kind of just giving a little nod to Drew Galloway in the sense of like, I hear you, man, and I agree with everything you're saying. If you remember all that time ago, a few weeks back or whatever, Jake Roberts was trying to kind of lure Drew Galloway into his little family, you know, Will Ospreay, Lance Archer, which we haven't seen much of. Ospreay's obviously focused on the Owen Hart Cup as of late, but yeah, maybe this is something that could grow into more. Does Drew Galloway want Jake Roberts managing him? Who knows? But this does lead us into Drew Galloway's match, and that is against Orange Cassidy. And in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Drew Galloway gets the win. Of course he does. He Claymore kicks the life out of Orange Cassidy and gets the win. Drew with an 86 performance, and Orange Cassidy with the flip reverse, getting a 68, and they've got great chemistry. Awesome. Ron Killings is still there because he's in love with Orange Juice Cassidy. And yeah, an 86 from Drew, that's insane, you know. Maybe he should get treated better with numbers like that. But the match overall was 78, you know, not bad. Just to kind of let you know, quite a lot of the matches in this episode don't really have a huge amount of meaning behind them. It's just, you know, it's the go home before the pay-per-view. I've kind of set up most of the stories anyway, so there will be the odd segment here and there, but not a great deal. Following this though, we have Jade Cargill coming out to the ring, and she says that she is sick of the pre-shows. She's sick of being on Rampage. She wants a match on Dynamite right now. And who should answer that call? AJ Mendes, Bullet Club Gold member and former Women's World Champion, comes down and accepts the challenge of Jade Cargill. And in a decent match, go on Jade, she defeats AJ Mendes in 14:29 with a fast roll-up. I mean, hey, a win's a win, whether it's, you know, with your finisher or a cheeky little roll-up. AJ, of course, you know, stunned and very upset, and Jade getting that cheeky win. Jade has slowly been getting better with her numbers, so I'm happy to use her more now. It's still not the best, but I think she's got the potential to be a star. So I'm happy to give Jade another go. But you know, I'm not going to be pushing her to the stars or anything. But she is likely to feature in more matches and, you know, storylines and stuff. But yeah, a big win over AJ Mendes. So, you know, this should hopefully give her the rub that she needs. Following this, though, we have an interview. Tony Schiavone making one of his last appearances. I mean, he makes a few more. But making one of his last appearances is interviewing Will Ospreay. And Will Ospreay says, look, Tony, when I first joined AEW, I had a bit of a bad attitude. And, you know, I kind of saw it as second place to New Japan Pro Wrestling. But I've seen the love that the fans give me. I've seen, you know, the talent that's here in AEW. And I've recently chosen to make AEW my first choice. And the reason for that is I want to become the AEW World Champion. AEW will remain my first choice until that goal is achieved. Obviously not as soon as he's champion, he's not going to fuck off, but he was like, Japan is my home, Japan is what I love, but being a world champion on American soil is something I'm yet to achieve. So this is my goal. You know, my body's slowly failing. You know, I can't do all the flippy shit I did 10 years ago. So this is what I'm aiming for, and the Owen Hart Cup is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to win at Revolution, and then I'm going to become the AEW World Champion. So yeah, big boy promo here from Will Ospreay. And we love that Will Ospreay is a full-timer here now. We are his priority, and it's going to stay that way for as long as I can help it. And for as long as we are first choice, he's going to get used because, you know, He's a fucking awesome talent. So yeah, great promo from him. Following this, though, we got another random match. Nick Jackson is back, the best buck, the only buck, taking on Teton. And in a very good match, an 85, he gets the win. He defeats Teton in 16 minutes with the 450 splash. Nick with an 84, Teton with a 66, who's getting better with a hot new move and getting the crowd buzzing. Yeah, really awesome match. I mean, these are two great talents anyway. Nick really, thriving under this singles run. Still nothing from Matt. He's still at home recovering. So, it might be a while before we see him come back. And obviously, I doubt he's going to come back into open Nick Jackson arms. But yeah, Teton putting a good showing here, recently signing. Unfortunate in the Owen Hart Cup, but, he was against Prince Devitt. So, we'll let that slide. But yeah, he's got a bright future here as well. Another member for the light heavyweight division. Something that I really need to crack on with again. And advance that Bryan Danielson, Daniel Garcia storyline, which, we're going to see some more of that in the main event tonight. But following this, though, we do stay in the ring and we have got a cheeky promo. Well, actually, not a promo, a face-to-face between the Devil and the Demon and Swerve Strickland. But yeah, they are face-to-face, just having a little chat. And MJF just says, I wanted to have this chat with you, Devitt, just to, highlight what's going to happen at Revolution. You see, I'm a former AEW World Champion. I started from the bottom and I worked my way to the top. I didn't walk into this business as a big shot. I didn't get the whole fanfare saying MJF is all elite. I came in here, I worked hard, I became the best, and now I am the best. You walk in here with your tired old clique hand gestures, your leather jacket, your name that isn't your name. Prince is not a first name, and you expect to be a top guy, and that's just not how it works. I'm the top guy, and you never will be, Mr. Devitt. So here's what's going to happen at Revolution. The bell's going to ring, and I'm going to make you tap, and I'm not going to let go until I break your arm. And then Devitt grabs the mic and he just says, Max, I didn't come in here expecting to be a top guy. I came in here to be the top guy. And if I have to start at the bottom, then I'll start at the bottom. It's not the first time I've been at the bottom, and it won't be the last. I am a fighter. I've come back from injuries. I've come back from sabbaticals. I've come back from defeats, and I've never given up. Max, remind me, what happened when you lost your World Heavyweight title? Did you stick around? Did you work your way back up? Or did you disappear for, 3 months? And mope around at home, crying to your mum? Because when I was off, injured, after my world title win in the company we won't mention, I worked hard. I was in the gym. I was with the physio. And the second I was available to return, I did. Nothing's going to stop me, Max. So at Revolution, you can try and break my arm. But I promise you, that's not going to happen. And the demon is going to overcome the devil. And obviously, great back and forth here between these two guys. And MJF is like, haha, okay, whatever. And kind of like turns to walk away. And as he turns to walk away, Swerve turns to, and it's obvious what's coming. Swerve tries to hit a move on Devitt, but Devitt counters, picks up Swerve and hits the 1917 or whatever it's called. You know that move. MJF then tries to go for a cheeky punch in which Devitt counters and Swing Blade or Sling Blade, I can't remember what it's called, Sling Blade knocks him down, climbs up to the top rope, and just before Devitt can do the coup de grace, MJF rolls out of the ring, pulled out actually by Swerve Strickland, and he comes up to the ramp, and obviously Devitt standing tall on the turnbuckle while MJF is peeling away, just pointing at him being like, just wait till Revolution, just wait, you son of a bitch. So yeah, very heated between these two. and it should be a really good match. I've got everything crossed for it, especially after this 99 rated segment. Good old MJF and Prince Devitt, and I guess Swerve Strickland too. This next segment is actually a balls up, because you can see that it says Jericho has informed, but you type in Chris and annoyingly Bay comes up first, and I didn't double check this, so just picture this being Chris Jericho, but you can kind of work it in a way like Chris Bay told Chris Jericho, who knows. But it is confirmed that at AEW Revolution, Jay White and Juice Robinson will make their decision. They will respond to CM Punk and give him an answer on CM Punk's proposal of inviting Jay White and Juice Robinson back to Bullet Club Gold. So what do you think they're going to say? What do you think is going to happen? Let me know in the comment section your thoughts on that. Would you rejoin? Let me know. This then takes us to our main event. Bryan Danielson, Brie Garcia versus Daniel Garcia and Mercedes Monet. And in an 80 rated main event, I was very apprehensive about this one. Bryan Danielson and Brie Garcia get the win. They defeat Garcia and Monet when Bryan Danielson pins Daniel Garcia with the running knee. Bryan with a 90 performance here, Garcia with an 80, Brie with a 45, and Mercedes Monet with a 73. A really good match here. Obviously, Brie was tiring towards the end, that's fine. But when you've got these other three people in the match, they can lift it. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, Bryan getting the win. And seems to me that this could earn him a World Light Heavyweight Championship match. We will have to wait and see, of course. But Daniel Garcia and Mercedes Monet very upset at this loss. And obviously, Bryan and Brie celebrating away because Bryan believes he is now one step closer to that rematch and potentially becoming our new World Light Heavyweight Champion. But that is how we end this show with an 83. Not bad. Yeah, just a kind of standard show, to be honest. We got the promo from Ospreay talking up the final. MJF and Prince Devitt coming face to face. Jay White, Juice Robinson will make their decision at Revolution in the next episode. And Bryan Danielson getting the win on Daniel Garcia, something that he hasn't done yet. So, hey, what's going to happen? Who knows? But that's it for Dynamite. Let's jump straight over to Collision, the final show before AEW Revolution. Let's go. Okay, and here we are for AEW Collision, and we are in the pre-show. Of course we are, we always are. And we're beginning with Big Bill taking on Calvin Tankman in a 66 rated brawl. And Big Bill gets the win with the East River Crossing. This would be a pretty fun match to watch in real life. If you guys aren't already aware, I'm a big fan of both Big Bill and Calvin Tankman. So this is a match that I would love to see, even though, in real life they're not in the same promotion, but still would be a great one. So I thought I'd live through TEW by booking this pre-show match. Bill with not very good 56, but he could get better. And Calvin Tankman with a 71. Tankman's been great since coming in. He's been sitting around the 60-70 mark. And kind of for the kind of player that he is, that's a perfect spot for him. But yeah, not much else to say about this. Just a match I wanted to book. Following this, though, we've got more singles action, and it's Nyla Rose losing again, because that's all she's going to do until she retires. Normally, when people retire, you give them a lovely little retirement run. Nah, I bury them, and I bury them good. And the second it says Nyla Rose has retired, you best believe that contract's being cancelled too. Unless she's got good skills for a road agent, then I might keep her on. But in a pre-show match, had decent wrestling, but little heat. Riho gets the win. Haven't seen Riho wrestle in a while. So yeah, it was nice to see her get a win with a 56. I know she can do better than that. So it would be good to start using her a little bit more just to get that pop and that performance up. Nyla with a 55. Nyla's great, to be fair. I really do like Nyla Rose. But she's chosen to retire, so she's now dead to me. But that is that match done. Let's head straight into the opening segment which of course it's Pac. And guess what? Pac's not happy. Who'd have thought? He comes down to the ring and he just moans and moans and moans about the world title scene. He says it's embarrassing that the champion can just pick one of his teammates to be his opponent at AEW Revolution. He says, where's the competition? Where's, the serious competitors? Also, the person that he's picked lost in the first round of the Owen Hart Cup. Why is he deserving of a title match? At which Claudio comes out and says, Pac, you've got a lot to say for someone who didn't win the Owen Hart Cup either. And it's not like Moxley has offered me this because we're pals right now. There's a lot of tension going on between me and Mox, and this is just how men settle things. We settle it in the ring. And who knows, after Sunday I might become the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. If I do, it's because I deserve it. And then Pac says, deserve it? You don't deserve anything. You haven't proven anything in the ring. And then Claudio says, well, why don't I prove it now? You and me, let's do this right now. You're in your ring gear, I'm in my ring gear. Let's get a referee out here and do it right now. And right now they do. Our opening match is Pac facing off against Claudio Castagnoli. And in a bout that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Claudio Castagnoli gets the win. He pins Pac in 28 minutes with the neutralizer, an 82 rated match. Pac, of course, having a great performance of 85. He is killing it whenever he's in the ring. And Claudio with a pretty good 75. Would have liked that to be a slightly higher number, especially because he's going into a world title match in the next episode. But, it's decent enough. But yeah, Claudio shutting up Pac, you could say, by getting that win. And honestly, this is great momentum heading into Revolution. Getting a huge win on Pac, someone who's been sniffing around that world title scene for a long time, and is, of course, the world wrestler of the year according to TEW. So getting a win on Pac is no small thing. And post-match, Claudio is celebrating when Moxley, Sabre Jr. and Itoh appear from the crowd. Moxley with mic in hand and just says to Claudio, the fight that you just shown is what I want times 10 at Revolution. Because if I don't see that level of fight from you, then you're out of the Combat Club. And Moxie just, flips the mic wherever, and then you hear the wow thing, bam, bam. And obviously on commentary you can see them being like, whoa, another, implication has been added. Not only is Moxley challenging Claudio for his world title, but if Claudio cannot prove himself to Jon Moxley, then he is out of the Combat Club. And Moxley, if he says that someone's out, they're fucking out. I mean, look at Bryan Danielson. So yeah, that is a big thing. I mean, this match is now that more important for Claudio. But that's also depending if Claudio wants to be in the Combat Club. Just throwing that out there. Because, he doesn't seem very happy. Who knows? But either way, let's continue with the show where we have got some tag team action. It is the challenger, Yuka Sakazaki, and her teammate, Mizuki, taking on the champion, the international champion, Maki Itoh, and her teammate, Miyu Yamashita. The classic booking of, let's put the two rivals in a tag team, and yeah. And in about that had decent wrestling, but non-existent crowd heat, which is a little harsh. Magical Sugar Rabbits, that's Sakazaki and Mizuki, get the win over 121 million, or however it's pronounced, when Yuka pins Miyu Yamashita with the Magical Girl Kick. This got 72, which I'm very, very happy about. Mizuki is all four of these women are so good in the ring. I know it feels like we've got loads of Japanese women, but there's a reason for that. It's because they're awesome, and there's a few that if I could, I'd take them as well. Julia, for example, I was in a bidding war with Stardom for her because her contract came up recently, and Stardom, I think, ended up offering her like $55,000 a month, which the game recommended. I offered her $12,000 a month. I think I went up to $30K a month plus like some crazy bonuses. But Stardom were keen to keep her, and I think she's loyal to them as well. So I was never going to win that. Azumi's came up as well, tried to bid for her, and she was like, I'm loyal to Stardom, fuck you, Ted. And I was like, okay. So yeah, Stardom have got a very tight grip on a number of their stars that I really want. Like Miyu Iwatani, love to have her, but ain't gonna happen. Anyways, getting distracted. Awesome match here. All 4 of these women are great. We need to get their pop up. I mean, Maki Itoh's pop is great right now, when you can see 73, and it's only going to get better. So everyone else here, we need to get them winning, get them on TV, and we're going to have one hell of a women's division. But great win for Yuka against Maki Itoh and Miyu Yamashita. Is she going to get the win at Revolution as well? You'll have to tune into the next episode to find out. After this, though, we head backstage, and we have got Renee Paquette catching up with John Moxley, and she just stops her husband and says, Moxley, like, oh no, she probably says John, what the hell is up with you? Like, you've been so weird lately. Like, since you won that title, you're a different person. Like, what's going on? Claudio is one of your best friends. Why are you doing this to him? Like, you already ruined your relationship with Brian. Don't do the same with Claudio. What is wrong with you? And Moxie's just like, look, just stay out of it, okay? It's got nothing to do with you. Just leave it, all right? And Renee's like, no, I won't leave it because it's affecting our relationship too. And he's like, I don't have time for this. And he just walks off. And Renee's like, are you kidding me? What? So clearly, Moxie doesn't just have an issue with Claudio. You know, he's just been different lately, and people are starting to notice. After this segment, though, we do head to Tony Schiavone. I told you we were going to see him again. And he is interviewing Demi Bennett. And Demi Bennett is so glad that the Owen Hart Cup is almost over. She has been bored out of her mind, waiting for there to be a winner and a challenger for her title. She said that, you know, she had her open challenge a couple of weeks ago where she defeated Billy Starks, but she was like, that's the only way I could get some action. And, you know, I'm the champion. I should be on TV every week. I should be defending my title. So yes, I am happy that the Owen Hart Cup is almost over, because then I know who I'm going to beat next. And Tony's like, oh, okay, all right, Billy Big Bollocks. But yeah, as we know, it's going to be Hikaru Shida taking on Rebecca Fox in that Owen Hart Cup final, the winner facing Demi Bennett. Following this, though, we got some random matches. We've got 2/3 of House of Black, Malachi Black and Ilya Dragunov, taking on El Hijo del Vikingo and Matt Sydal. And in a pretty good 76 rated match where 2 people were really off their game, House of Black get the win. Ilya Dragunov with a 73 performance wins, but Malachi Black gets the pin by defeating Matt Sydal with the Black Mass. Really good match here. Definitely exceeded expectations. Got the crowd buzzing as well ahead of our main event, which is great. You know, you get the crowd buzzing before a main event, and it's just gonna boom, to quote Adam Cole. But yeah, really good match here. The House of Black seem to be kind of slowly getting back to their best with the inclusion of Ilya. And post-match, the 3 of them are in the ring, and Malachi says that the house has been rebuilt and is stronger than ever. And we want Trios Gold again. So it seems like Malachi Black, Ilya Dragunov and Brody King are chasing. They've got their eyes on Trios Gold again. And that means that Punk better watch his back, because these are 3 people you do not want to mess with. We also get a cheeky little announcement from commentary after, as Brody King shared this information. Julia Hart has had her baby, and it's a little baby girl. So congratulations in-game, Julia, on your baby. You know, we hope you're well, we hope you're healthy and rested. And because I'm a loser, I gave her a little bonus as well. You know, get something nice from AEW, because you know you got to play up the realism. She'll be back in, I think, like 3 or 4 months, which is mad because she should have the 9 months of maternity. So I'm really tempted as well to extend her leave, just give her some paid leave for like 6 months maybe instead of 9. have some time with your kid, babe, because I definitely would if I could have more time. But yeah, great news. Julia Hart has had a baby and she'll be back soonish. But this does take us to our main event. It is the Lucha Brothers taking on Keith Lee and Darby Allin, and a 90 rated match. My goodness. In a bout that had superb wrestling, my favourite word, and a decent reaction from the crowd, the Lucha Brothers defeat Keith Lee and Darby Allin in 24 minutes when Pentagon Jr. pins Darby Allin with the assisted Fear Factor. Darby was the weak link, which is mad because he got 75 and he's known as the weak link. But it just goes to show how amazing all of these guys are. Keith Lee with an 87, Ray Phoenix with a 90, Pentagon with an 88. I tell you what, this unification match is going to be sick at AEW Revolution. And that is how we're going to open Revolution as well, with the unification match, I think. Might be wrong. It'll be on the card. But yeah, a huge main event. This was great. Keith picking Darby as his partner, which wasn't a bad choice. Darby's great. But it's a whole different story on Sunday when it's Pentagon one-on-one with the monster that is Keith Lee. But yeah, 90 rated to end the show. That's friggin' awesome. Let's see how we did. And 87. Love that. Collision's definitely the place to be. Collision always wipes the floor with Dynamite, which is mad because Dynamite's got MJF, Prince Devitt's joined, CM Punk, Jay White, other people, but then also Collision has got Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, John Moxley. I mean, Bryan Danielson's over on Dynamite too. I think, yeah, who knows, maybe we're using Collision people a bit better, who knows. But either way, an 87, that's awesome. And what we do in usual fashion for the Go Home show, we give a quick rundown of every match confirmed for Revolution. So just running down the card, this is in no particular order, it's just what's written down in front of me. We've got Maki Itoh defending her AEW International title against Yuka Sakazaki. We've got Keith Lee and Pentagon Jr. in the unification match where the TNT title will be absorbed into the AEW International Championship. Jay White and Juice Robinson will respond to CM Punk at Revolution, letting him know whether they will or won't join Bullet Club Gold again. MJF, the Devil, will be taking on the Demon, Prince Devitt, in what you could call a grudge match. The Golden Lovers will be defending their AEW World Tag Team titles against Hangman Adam Page and Bandito. Remember, in the last time these guys squared off in a tag match, it was Page and Bandito that came out on top, so it's going to be one hell of a match. We've also got our Owen Hart Cup finals. So on the women's side, we've got Hikaru Shida taking on Rebecca Knox. And on the men's side, we've got Will Ospreay taking on Mr. Inform, Jeff Cobb. And then finally, last but not least, we have got the AEW World Heavyweight Championship match. The champion, Jon Moxley, taking on fellow Combat Club member, Claudio Castagnoli. And Moxley has said, if your performance doesn't impress me and I don't see the fight that the Combat Club should have, then you are out of the Combat Club. So yeah, should be a really, really good event. And that is in the next episode. And annoyingly, it will have this post-recording audio because I'm a silly boy. But that shouldn't impact the episode. I'm going to treat it as if it's fresh eyes. Probably go into more detail because that's what I've done. In this recording alone, I've definitely gone over the time limit of the actual video it was before. So it just means more Ted. You're welcome. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know what you think is going to happen at Revolution. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. Yeah.